Hey guys, what's going on? It's Ash here coming at you today in Clash Royale. I got Tag back. Tag, this is becoming like a weekly segment, man. How you doing?
Hey man, I'm doing fantastic.
Good. It's glad to have you back. And you messaged me this morning and you were like, dude, I love this deck. I think it's the strongest right now in the meta. And I'd have to agree with you. Now, I shared this deck before you guys tell me in the comments. I shared this deck a few days ago along with another PEKKA deck, but we never really got in depth onto how to play this deck, you know, specifically with a pro on the call coaching us. So that's why Tag is here. You guys know he's one of the best. Tag, first off, tell us a little bit about this deck. Why do you feel like it's so strong in the meta right now? I know a lot of people, a lot of viewers have been giving me feedback about this deck absolutely dominating for them. So tell us a little bit about the deck, then we'll hop into your 12 win, and then we'll do some live coaching.
Yeah, so predominantly some of the strongest decks in the meta right now are going to be Golem Double Prince or Giant Double Prince. And this deck completely obliterates it. It's phenomenal. I really like just keeping the PEKKA in my hand, passively cycling Goblin Hut, and then as soon as your opponent goes in for a poison on the Goblin Hut, then you have Flying Machine, which you can drop in a safe vicinity, and then also Zappies. Zappies completely obliterate the double princes. They don't really get their charges off. And then obviously if they drop a PEKKA or they drop a Golem, that's going to die to a PEKKA, and then you'll have a counter push. So it's pretty easy from that standpoint, and I really like the deck because it's all about counter pushing and it's beating out your opponent's spell. There's only one poison that they can ever have, and they're not going to be able to hit a Flying Machine and a Goblin Hut because the Flying Machine's range is just so strong.
Indeed. And I guess one thing that I kind of had a question about, and I asked you this off air too, is, actually, before I ask this question, any substitutions for Royal Ghost in this deck, and maybe even Flying Machine if people haven't leveled it up?
Yeah, so Flying Machine, you can easily substitute that out for the Mega Minion, but I really prefer the Flying Machine just because of its range. The Royal Ghost is really nice, just for chip damage. A lot of times your opponent won't have a distraction unit or have a way of dealing with the Royal Ghost, and sometimes they'll just bypass and go directly to the tower. So I like the Royal Ghost in this deck a lot, but you can sub it out for the Bandit. You're gonna have a worse time against Three Musketeers, but in a lot of other matchups, predominantly like against Expo and other minor poison decks where you need to catch a miner, the Bandit will be a little bit better.
Okay, sounds good. And so the question I had for you is specifically, and I guess we can probably hop into the replay and you can actually talk more about this, but this deck like has so many kind of moving parts to me that, you know, I'm not sure exactly when I'm actually live in battle, and we'll talk about this while you're coaching me, but I feel like oftentimes I'm not sure where and when to play like Flying Machine or where and when to go with Royal Ghosts. Obviously, Royal Ghosts can be obvious at times as well. But you know what? We can just hop into that probably in the replays. So let's go ahead and start with your 12 win against a bait deck. Let me know when you're paused and we'll press play together.
All right, I'm ready.
3, 2, 1, play. So the first thing I'm going to ask you is, what are the differences when playing this deck in single elixir and double elixir? Like, what are you doing more often? Are you being more aggressive? Are you still being reactive? Talk a little bit about that.
So in single elixir, I'll almost never play my PEKKA. I'll always really want to be cycling a whole bunch of Spear Goblin Huts, Miners, and just playing defensively. And the reason I do that is you don't really know what type of deck they're running. If you drop your PEKKA, they go opposite lane with a Golem, you're going to be in a bad situation. But cycling that Spear Goblin Hut or cycling a Miner, you cycle a Miner, then guess what? Sometimes they could pump. That's the worst possible case scenario. You just poison it. It's an even trade then. So that's not really that bad. Cycling a Spear Goblin Hut, there's really nothing they can do about that. They're going to poison it. Okay, well, then you have two other units that you can get value out of, like the Spear Goblin, or you can drop Flying Machine, or you can drop Zappies, and you're going to get value out of that. So essentially in single elixir, you're just cycling your Spear Goblin Hut, cycling Miners, and playing passively, figuring out what their deck is. Okay. In double elixir, you can actually drop your PEKKA, and you can play a little bit more aggressive because you'll identify their card cycle and you'll know what they're running by then.
Okay, great answer. Do you also, if the opponent pumps up as their first play, and you have, let's just say you have like a perfect starting or a pretty decent starting hand, you have Miner and Poison, Miner, Poison, Royal Ghost, and Log, say. What are you going to do? Are you going to send in a Miner Log, or are you going to just poison it?
So what I would, in an ideal situation, what I would do is I would just cycle a Miner on top of the pump and see what happens.
Okay.
If they defend it, then I would have to poison it. But I never really want to go in for a Miner on top of the tower and then go in for a poison on top of the tower and the pump.
Okay.
Usually with other minor poison decks, you can get away with that because you'll have Electro Wizard and Ice Spirit if they go in for a Batarang minion horde push. But this deck doesn't have that, so you really have to be cognizant of that, and you have to play a little bit more safe.
Okay.
At least at the start, you really want to make sure that you're just dealing with the pumps with the minimal amount of elixir possible.
Okay, sounds good. And man, dude, I'm watching this now going into the last minute of the match, and that flying machine basically won you this game.
Yeah, so the great thing about this deck is all it really takes is a Flying Machine lock on or a Royal Ghost lock on, and then you just minor poison chip with Spear Goblins out the rest of the tower. That's why the deck is so strong. It's a control-based deck that you have log for all the Goblin Barrel bait decks. You're never really gonna have issues with those. You have PEKKA for all the double Prince decks, and that's pretty much like half the meta. Wouldn't you say that? Like,
absolutely,
everyone's running either a double Prince or a bait deck.
Absolutely, man.
Yeah,
I feel like, yeah, even bridge spam, this dominates. You know, whatever people are running nowadays, I feel like you have so many answers with this deck. What would you say the most difficult matchup is?
It's hard to say that. I feel like potentially a graveyard deck if the graveyard player plays it exceptionally well, but you still have Flying Machine, which you can like put outside range of any poison value. And they're going to have to pick between poisoning your Goblin Huts, or they're going to have to pick between poisoning your Flying Machine. It's difficult for them. I still think that Graveyard could beat this, but maybe Three Musketeers if played perfectly. I think that this deck is just all around one of the best decks, if not the best deck in the game.
Yeah, okay. I think I agree with you, especially in these tournaments that I've been hosting daily for Plex Chat. This deck, in the last 2 days, has finished at least twice in the top 10. And that's, that says a lot because not everybody's playing the deck, obviously, yet. You go against a mirror matchup here on number 10. Is that? Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
All right, so let's maybe talk about this, and it will probably give us some insight into maybe how to play the deck and how not to play the deck. So let's press play in 3, 2, 1, go. And then after this, we'll hop into some live coaching matches. So yeah, go ahead.
So this is going to be a pretty interesting game. You're going to see me use my minor on defense, and my opponent doesn't use their minor on defense. A lot of times you're going to have to be really you're going to have to be innovative with your play with this deck because as you said, it's you're really adapting to your opponent with a control deck, and sometimes you can have funky cycles. I had to use a minor on defense because I didn't really have a great way of stopping the Royal Ghost. I could have dropped a PEKKA, but one of the biggest rules of thumb is do not drop your PEKKA in single elixir unless you absolutely have to. So I would much rather cycle a minor.
Okay, and he drops his PEKKA, so shame on him. But you're going to respond because he already dropped one. That's obviously one of the scenarios that it's okay to do so.
Yeah, if they commit 7 elixir, you know that they can't really rush opposite lane.
Okay, so again, just explain what's going through your head right now.
So right now I see Zappies. I know that I have to deal with the Zappies, so I drop my Royal Ghost. I feel like I'm in a dominant situation because I have my Spear Goblin Hut alive and thriving. When you have your Spear Goblin Hut and you're stacking up a whole bunch of Spear Goblins, it's going to be really annoying for your opponent. That's one of the biggest things. If you win the battle at the bridge and you have more Spear Goblins, it stockpiles. It's like a snowball effect.
Yeah.
And he had to drop a Royal Ghost there, which is 3 elixir that he really didn't want to have to spend. The great thing about Zappies is, unlike the Electro Wizard, they can actually eat up so many shots from a Dark Prince, a Prince, or just any of those units, right? Like, or any melee unit like a Bandit or a Royal Ghost. Because the Electro Wizard, it's a one-hit wonder. If that thing dies, then you lose all utility. But if one of the Zappies gets hit by a Bandit or a Dark Prince or a Prince, you're still going to have 2 left.
Yeah. Now, I noticed that you kind of cycled the Flying Machine there in the back. Why did you choose Flying Machine over, I don't know, a Royal Ghost or something like that?
I usually like cycling Flying Machine in situations that I know that it's going to get value. I felt that, I don't know, in that specific situation, but I felt like he probably wasn't going to be able to poison it in time. Like, usually if you cycle a Flying Machine in the back, if they poison it, they won't actually end up killing it. It'll walk outside the poison. They need to have something to stop it.
Flying Machine's a pain. It can be a pain to fireball or poison correctly because it moves like so deceptively. Not even fast, just deceptively.
Yeah, it needs to be inside it needs to be shooting a PEKKA. It needs to be shooting some of his units for it to actually be worth him poisoning. Otherwise, it's just going to walk outside, and he basically just used the poison on top of a Flying Machine that's going to stay alive, and I can use a minor to tank. So there's just a lot of situations that cycling a flying machine in the back, opposed to cycling Zappies more specifically, is going to be a better play because it moves a lot faster.
Dude, you just finessed this guy.
Yeah.
Nice job, man. Asserting dominance. Try to get all the taglines in there. All right, so it's my turn. Unfortunately, I'm in the beginning. I haven't started a grand challenge, so hopefully I pick up some victories here in the beginning. But I'm going to hop right in right now, and we'll see how I do.
Yeah, no doubt.
So I think I played this the day after I uploaded the video, and I got, I want to say, nothing like crazy. I want to say like 7 or 8 wins. So obviously I can improve my gameplay a lot. Is that the correct placement for the Goblin Hut to start out?
Yeah, that's solid.
So now he
So
drops
you really
the
won't
knight.
be able to bypass that.
I have Zappies, Poison, Log in hand, so I guess I'm just going to Zappies.
Yeah, you can go
I could have
Zappies.
P.E.K.Ka'd that.
It's gonna
Can
go
I
on top
P.E.K.A
of the
this?
Goblin Hut. Yeah,
Can
you
I-
can definitely P.E.K.Ka that.
Okay.
I would like not drop it right on top. I would have dropped it like a little bit off to the side.
Oh, yeah, try to get
just
the...
so then the Mega Knight has to walk toward it. It's a very, very minor thing, but it can pay off.
That's true. So should I Flying Machine or... No, forget it.
No,
Or
just let
should-
it die.
Just let it die.
So what you're gonna want to do here is you're gonna drop Flying Machine off to the side. So like the Inferno
left?
Tower is like, yeah, so it's walking up. Nice. It's gonna go on top of the Royal Ghost. The Royal Ghost is gonna go
Oh my
and start
God.
walking towards the tower.
I think I
and
can
then
kill it
Inferno
before he
Dragon.
does any serious damage.
Yeah.
So was that minor
I
mistake?
love that Royal Ghost mechanic.
Yeah,
The
right?
minor was a little bit of an overcommitment. What you really want to be doing is stockpiling as many Spear Goblin Huts as possible. It's
Okay.
fine though. Especially since he has Fireball, right? He doesn't have Poison, so if he's gonna Fireball your Spear Goblin Hut, he's always gonna have a sad time.
Okay, so I'm gonna Goblin Hut here, and wait. This time I'll have the... Okay, I'll have the P.E.K.Ka ready here. I imagine he's gonna... Or if he
You just
hogs...
want to Royal Ghost this, or you want to go in for a Flying Machine.
Okay.
Don't drop Zappies because they'll get obliterated. You want to save your Zappies for the Inferno Dragon. So you want to have Zappies in cycle for the Inferno Dragon after he drops Mega Knight. So when he drops Mega Knight right here, he's probably gonna drop Mega Knight, yeah. So you want to have
Okay,
You
I
wanna
was
have-
planning on P.E.K.Ka. Should I...
you want a P.E.K.Ka, and then he won't have Fireball in cycle, or he shouldn't.
Oh, look at that Flying Machine just chilling there right outside the range.
Exactly. You want to log that and then go in for Zappies.
My bad.
Yeah, that's fine. That P.E.K.Ka actually got a snipe off on the hog. That's really solid. Nice.
Little bit.
Yeah,
a
so
little
this
bit.
deck, as long as you keep the Zappies in cycle for the Inferno Dragon, there's no way that he can get damage. And eventually in double elixir, you're gonna have enough elixir to go in for minor poisons. And if he drops and defends with Goblin Gang, you'll be able to poison it every single time. Basically, it's a Fireball Poison bait deck with the Spear Goblin Hut, and you're always gonna get value if they Fireball that. They never want to Fireball that because then your Flying Machine and your Zappies are gonna just be insane.
Okay, cool. So it looks like we're fine here. Want to just watch the replay real quickly? Because I know I made a few mistakes like as you were trying to tell me as I was doing them. So maybe just double time replay real quick just to review.
Yeah, for sure. Probably
Alright.
just some cycling misplays.
Sure. Share. Watch. All right, 3, 2, 1, play in double time. So yeah, I think that maybe a few times I made probably the wrong decision, but you can just tell that even with all those mistakes that I kind of made, it's just like no big deal. I still
man.
got enough damage, still got it
Go
done.
an easy dub. Especially when you see a Fireball deck, because Poison, I mean, it gives him a lot more potential to deal with Spear Goblin Hut. Spear Goblin Hut, if you Fireball it, you're still getting the Spear Goblins, whereas Poison deals with the Spear Goblins as they come out. So having that little bit of chip damage every single time is always extremely beneficial for you.
Yep. So,
So
if you're
you drop the Flying Machine, you drop Royal Ghost. I liked what you did right there. I didn't really like the Minor. Minor, like, you could have dropped it off to the right-hand side. Would have been a little bit better. You want to drop it as far away from your units that are approaching the tower as possible. It's still pretty
Okay.
fine.
so drop it in
Spirit.
like the upper right hand corner.
Yeah, I like dropping
Okay.
it as far away as possible from my units that are approaching the tower.
Okay, that's a good
It's
tip
just
there.
it's a stylistic thing, but it's definitely something that benefits you because if you have the units as far away from the miner as possible, then if the units go toward the miner, it's quite a while for the units to come back, and then your Flying Machine can actually lock on top of the tower if you draw the units away. So
So I think that
Spear
like the
Goblin Hut
only
placement.
Yeah, the only mistake I maybe made from here on out was just earlier. I think I should have played Zappies for that Inferno dragon instead of what a poison. I think I went with
Yeah.
yeah, kind of a no value poison there, but it still worked out. Let's go into the next match here.
Sounds good, man.
Hope we run into a fat golem deck tag.
I mean, Golem's probably one of the easiest matchups.
That's what I'm saying. All right, good luck. So we have the hut again, so we'll start out with the hut. Now, on minor placements, I know this is like such a silly question because obviously there's no answer. Oops, I was one too low, but it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, because you dropped a Hog Rider there, you're fine.
Yeah, so I don't know. Would you have
seen another? Since you see another Hog Rider deck, basically you just want to play the same way. You want to passively be cycling miners and just see what he's going to do and see what type of deck he's running. You never really want to drop your P.E.K.K.A. And then just go in for Spear Goblin Huts. See if he's running Poison or Fireball or what spell he's rocking.
Okay. Gonna just Royal
So you
Ghost
can go
this.
Royal Ghost here?
Yep.
Nice.
Definitely
prefer Royal Ghost over Zappies, so that was good play.
Should I split Zappies in the back here?
Yeah, you're back to, you can go for
I just
Zappies.
Flying Machined.
Or a Fly Machine. Either works.
Cool, cool, cool. Wow, look at that Royal. Had no answer for...
Yeah, he had absolutely nothing. You're wrecking
Can I
him,
poison
man.
this?
So that Fly Machine, as I said, man, all you need is one lock on, and now you can basically minor poison cycle out in single elixir, or in double elixir, and you can win the game. I would drop a P.E.K.K.A. right on top of his...
I don't have enough elixir for...
Yeah.
I went Zappies instead of P.E.K.K.A., so maybe that was the wrong decision there.
Yeah, so if you drop a P.E.K.K.A. right on top of their supporting units, like the Executioner, right? It'll kill the Executioner, and then his P.E.K.K.A. will walk back.
Okay. Okay, so when I'm sending... I keep trying to ask you this question, but I keep getting distracting myself. So on... Oh, boy. I have nothing for that, so I'll try to get creative with a miner.
Yeah, it's fine. And you baited out the Goblin Gang. Ash, you're killing the game, man. The predictions. Mind games are unparalleled.
Just Zappies this. So, okay, when you're sending in the miner, do you normally, is there any rhyme or reason to switching up the location? Do you sometimes go in the same location to like try to counter predict them, if that makes sense, or?
So usually when you have units going towards the tower, you always want to go in the back left or the back right corner. And the reason you want to do that is you want to draw the units as far away as possible from your units that are going towards the tower. If you drop it in front, like if you, for instance, if you have a flying machine and you have a miner going towards the tower, and they drop or you drop the miner in front of the tower, they drop a knight. The knight, not only does it block the miner, it can also block the flying machine shots. And you never want that to happen. You always want to get as much utility as possible. To end the game or to finish off the game, a lot of times I'll go in the bottom right corner or the bottom left corner, basically the most outside corner closer to their tower, just to finish off the game. And that's the least predictable spot, and it's the spot that gets to the tower as fast as possible. So usually when I have units going towards the tower, I'll always go in the back. When I don't have units going towards the tower and when I'm trying to finish off the game and just minor poison cycle like you just did right there, outside corner, that's the best spot.
There it is, okay.
And obviously, yeah. Obviously, you don't want to go for that spot every single time. You want to switch it up. But if you want to get damage, that's usually the best spot.
Okay, cool. All right, here we go again. That one I felt like was almost an easier match, so we won't watch the replay. I just hop into another one here against Legion. My card levels are pretty low, but maybe I'll try a ladder match after this to end off the video because I'm much higher. So I didn't know what to play there. I sent it a miner. Probably a bad choice.
It's all right,
but you
man.
don't see minions. Yeah.
You're going to have to poison this pump.
Yeah.
And you want to eat the minions if you have poison.
I didn't have poison, so I had to cycle anyway. So now I'm really low on elixir here.
So it's probably going to be a 3M deck.
Yeah,
so
I was going to say.
you want to hold your Zappies. He's probably going to bridge spam you. Okay, never mind. It's going to be Golem. As soon as you see that baby dragon and pump, it's always Golem.
So I'm going to let this go.
And then drop Spear Goblin Hut right after.
Yep.
Yeah, that Spear Goblin Hut should have been like one or two tiles down.
2 tiles down?
You can afford... Yeah, you can definitely afford to do a more optimal Spear Goblin Hut placement. Those placements matter a lot against Golem or Giant decks. And you can do a further down placement for sure if you know that the Spear Goblin, or if you know where the Golem's going. So when the Golem's going towards that lane, that placement was fine, like horizontally it was fine where you dropped it, but vertically it should have been down too.
Okay. Should I go aggressive here? Flying machine on the left?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you have Zappies going on the right, so he has to deal with those. Flying machine will definitely get a few hits off, and I think the Pekka is actually going to get a hit or two. So he had to go for NATO. That's really devastating for him. He did not want to do that at all. You can just eat up those minions and go in for a Spear Goblin Hut. Really like that play. So the Spear Goblin Hut there, when you're playing it passively, is really solid. But when you know where they're going, then it should be dropped one more tile down.
Okay, sounds good. All right, so he's coming at me with Baby Dragon. I don't really have anything for it. Should I just minor right?
Yeah, just minor right. Even though he has pump, if he pumps up with 57 seconds left, it's usually a pretty bad play because he needs a lot of time to get that utility out of the elixir. So
should I poison it?
There's no way that he's actually going to be able to break through. Just going for a P.E.K.K.A, Spear Goblin Hut, and then you can minor out the tower after you defend this push and you'll win the game.
Okay, I'm going to be... Okay, forget it.
So you might have to poison on defense here, but you wanted to go for a Spear Goblin Hut because he doesn't have a big spell. Really nice Zappies. Zappies will deal with the Prince as well.
Just gonna help out a little bit with
Yeah, man, that's exactly what I was talking about. This deck just demolishes all the double Prince decks. Zappies in the back especially, like, he doesn't even have a big spell. If he had poison, it would be a little bit more difficult, but I don't know, man. This is...
Yeah, dude, look at this.
Obliterating him. It wasn't even close.
And look at P.E.K.K.A almost full health to the tower, no big deal. All right, just going to... Well, I guess I don't need to even do anything. Wow.
Nah, man. It's not even going to let you go in for a minor.
So strong. I know, right? All right,
you can't control your cards, man. They have a mind of their own.
All right, so let's do... One thing I will note there is that, like, obviously it was pretty no-brainer, but I was never, like, super... I never was over-committal on defending against the Golem because you can see his tendency to push the other lane with double Prince was pretty strong. Okay, I'll go into ladder. Again, my Zappies are really low, level 9, and my Flying Machine's level 10. My Royal Ghost is level 2. So, that's my excuse built in. For but here we go. I'll try a ladder match.
Already.
I'll try to, yeah, exactly, right? I'll try to do a ladder match here to end things off. So good luck, Ragnar. All right, so I do have Hut in my starting hands, so we'll do the same move that we've done already a few times.
Yep, the safe placement is always optimal.
And we'll see what he's got.
And it always puts the ball in their court. Like, he just baited out a
Zappies or Flying Machine?
You want to go for P.E.K.K.A if you don't have it, but so Flying Machine off to the left-hand side.
Okay.
Nice. Royal Ghost was awesome. And you baited out the Fireball already. So you're probably going to have to Zappies, yeah. See, if he had Fireballed the Flying... Or if he had Fireballed Zappies, then you wouldn't have had ground distraction for that mini P.E.K.K.A, so...
Yeah. Okay, so I have P.E.K.K.A minor. I'm going to have to... Oh. Okay, nice.
You should definitely just be able to P.E.K.K.A that. Level 8 P.E.K.K.A. Ash, you've been gemming, man. Going for a log on that? Nice.
Yep. Sweet.
So he tried to zap and then redirect your P.E.K.K.A on top of the goblins.
Should I Flying Machine this or no?
Yeah, definitely Flying Machine. He's gonna Fireball it then, but I would definitely go in for it.
Okay. Should I minor or is that too aggressive?
No, that's way too aggressive. Yeah. Okay.
So
because
now I can
Hut right there wouldn't have done anything.
That's true. All right, so we'll Hut up here. Same placement is fine.
Yeah, for sure. So when double Elixir hits, you're gonna have a lot more units on the map when he goes in for a giant. The only reason his pushes are like moderately successful is because you weren't able to afford units to counteract the mini P.E.K.K.A, and the mini P.E.K.K.A got a lot of offensive damage on you. So as soon as double Elixir hits, you're gonna have way more of a counter push with your P.E.K.K.A, and then he's just gonna outright lose the game. Really nice Zappies.
Yep. Okay, so I can minor here. Or I can just let it go.
You can go in for a minor because he doesn't have Fireball and Cycle.
Cool. Look at the help we're getting here on that mini P.E.K.K.A.
Yeah, man, that's insane.
Wasted log. Oops.
You gotta go in for a Goblin Hut soon.
Yeah.
Or P.E.K.K.A now.
I screwed up there.
Yeah. When you already commit to the Flying Machine, you gotta go in for P.E.K.K.A.
Yeah.
But it's fine. Because if you had done that differently, you would have been able to afford the Goblin Hut and the P.E.K.K.A. So as just like a good rule of thumb, always drop the Goblin Hut first.
Yeah, that sucked.
P.E.K.K.A.
Okay, so mini P.E.K.K.A kills me.
Yeah, it does a lot of damage if you mess up your cycle once. That's the one bad thing about this type of deck. It punishes you really, really hard if you just get out of cycle.
Crap, man. All because I didn't drop that P.E.K.K.A, I think, huh?
All because you didn't drop the Goblin Hut first. You should have dropped the Goblin Hut, and then you should have dropped P.E.K.K.A, and then you would have been fine. Would have obliterated his push, actually.
Okay, want to watch that back before we end the video and just show me where I went wrong.
Yeah, for sure, man.
Cool. Share, boom, watch. All right, we can do double speed. 3, 2, 1, play. All right, so
I like the Spear Goblin Hut at the start. That was a really nice play.
And then,
as I said, dropping the Flying Machine was better than dropping the Zappies, because if he had fireballed Zappies in that situation, the mini P.E.K.K.A would have got on top of your tower, because your Flying Machine really wouldn't have done anything. It wouldn't have given you any utility on top of the mini P.E.K.K.A.
So here he has a slight elixir advantage, but nothing really too major. I drop P.E.K.K.A right there. Do you
I really
always
like
want
the log, because if he had went in for a zap right there, he would have made your P.E.K.K.A retarget on top of the goblins.
Yeah.
Flying Machine was really solid. You would ask to go in for a miner, but like if you had went for a miner, you would have relinquished your elixir advantage that you had there. So it's well played. Goblin Hut was really solid there because you didn't know what side he was going to commit with the giant yet, and it draws both sides there. So Zappies.
So this is where I went wrong. I should have P.E.K.Ka'd there. Did I have P.E.K.K.A in hand? I don't know. Maybe I was one card away.
I think that was actually fine. So
okay.
53 seconds left.
I wasted a log here.
You should have went in for the Goblin Hut. 3 seconds
wasted
left.
A lot. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to pause.
So 40 seconds left. You leaked a lot of elixir, and then you went in for a Flying Machine instead of going in for the Goblin Hut, and then a P.E.K.K.A.
Okay.
Goblin Hut P.E.K.K.A, it's not too bad. It's like 12 elixir, and his giant would have been drawn towards your Goblin Hut, and then you would have built up enough elixir for the P.E.K.K.A.
Yeah, and you can see what happens here is he drops the P.E.K.K.A at the bridge. I only have Royal Ghost, and he gets the P.E.K.K.A to the tower, all because of basically just me not playing the proper P.E.K.K.A there.
Yeah, the giant got a lot of damage on you simply because you just had the wrong card rotation. And that's the one big deficit about this type of deck. You can lose games simply because of bad cycle, or if you make one misplay. So it's the best rule of thumb with this deck. Try to get your Spear Goblin Hut up first and foremost, because it defends both sides, right? No matter where he drops the giant, that Spear Goblin Hut is going to give you utility. You drop the Flying Machine in the back, he could rush opposite lane. So this deck is all about controlling the game, and if you're able to defend or kill 2 birds with 1 stone, defend and have a little bit of chip damage with the Goblin Hut, it's always worth cycling that over cycling a Zappies in the back, Royal Ghost in the back, or even like, it's the best play overall.
Awesome, man. Well, hey, I want to thank you again for generously giving up your time here. I love having you coach me, and I feel like when I can sit down and not be, have some time on my phone and stuff, I feel like I can have success with this deck. I'm definitely going to give it a try in the Plex Chat tournament today, so wish me luck, and thanks, man. I appreciate it.
No doubt, man. Can't wait to see you assert dominance.
Hey, what, anything planned on the SirTag YouTube channel?
Just consistently uploading every single day, SirTag CR, and it's been a grind, but I've been loving it, man.
Awesome, man. Yeah, I love tuning in. If you guys like this sort of coaching, then you can see this on a daily basis on SirTag's YouTube channel. I'll link it in the description below. Tag, thanks again, man. Appreciate it.
No doubt.
All right,
Thanks,
guys,
Ash.
that's no problem, dude. That's going to do it for today, guys. Hope you enjoyed the video as much as I did. Check out Tag's information in the description below, as well as my YouTube partner, Bren Chong. Check out his information, and as always, take care, guys.